Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome to She Read It. I'm She, so let's read some Reddit. Creepy encounters that gave me the heebie-jeebies is a thread that we're diving into today, so let's get it. I think I dated a psychopath. Ugh, got the heebies already. Because I ain't gonna lie, that's always been like one of my top fears is dating someone that is just a psycho. Because you see movies about it and you hear stories about it and how it's very hard to get out of those type of situations safely. So thankfully I never ran into that type of situation and stayed. But whew, heebies. All right, let's get into the story. I met a guy my freshman year of high school. When I first spotted him in the gym, he was talking to my ex, but seemed uncomfortable. I asked if he wanted to walk laps with me, and he agreed happily. He instantly started talking trash about my ex. I ignored it as my ex was just outwardly nasty. After a couple of days of flirting, I asked him out, and he agreed. A few months, it was fine. A couple of times he seemed off, like being outwardly rude to teachers and other students, but I ignored it. He complained about his house. I was in shock when I walked into one of the nicest houses in town. When his family was struggling to pay bills, I raised money for him and he didn't care. In the last few months of dating, he treated me like I was stupid. I was giving him a month to fix his behavior. The final straw was him not caring about my grandma's death, then getting mad at me for being upset. I dumped him a week later. Oh, thank God. Whew. Good job, OP. He then came to my house without telling my family, demanding a hoodie that I told him I didn't know where it was due to my mom's stress cleaning. My dad told him the same thing. He was pissed. He said it was my fault for not replying to his texts. He claimed that I cheated on him, treated him badly, and body shamed me publicly. Then I remembered him mentioning our first encounter. I didn't remember, but he did. He literally spent a whole summer forming a personality that I'd like.
OMG.
He learned what I like through mutual friends and formed a personality. The nail in the coffin was him telling my friend he feels no empathy for anyone. Girl. I dated this person for 7 months. I stayed at his house. I slept in the same room as him. Girl, ooh, Lord. Heebies. Heebies, 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 heebies. So you basically, in this case, stayed with a perfect stranger. I've heard of some narcissistic and psychopathic tendencies amongst, people trying to, hoodwink and swindle people, into their web, but forming a whole personality out of information that he got from people around you, that's a special type of sick. And I'm so glad that, after numerous red flags, OP finally came to her senses and went ahead and left dude alone, because ain't no telling if, she stayed with him any longer than that, if it would have been that easy to walk away. So I'm glad she walked away, and we're going to leave it there. But that was a heebie moment. But let's go to the comments. All signs of a narcissist with possible psychopathic tendencies. He really doesn't sound like a psychopath to me. He could also be a very immature young man who thinks acting like that will gain sympathy from people. Some young men like to play the damaged role to find girls who want to fix them. In other words, he probably does have some underlying mental health issues, but doesn't necessarily sound like a psychopath. Be careful either way. He may lash out, and you don't need to be there if that happens. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Next story. I almost got kidnapped at 15. Peepees. Now that's my second top fear. Not mainly for me, but for my kids. Like the thoughts of my kids being taken away from me to an unknown destination with God knows who. Oh my, nope, that's my top fear. That's my top fear. Actually, like the thought of it just makes me go mental. So, whew, okay, let's get into the story. So this happened to me when I was 15. I was at a local pool with my best friend, who is also 15 at the time. We didn't have parents with us at the time, but we have been going to this pool every day for the entire summer. So we were very comfortable with it. That day, I happened to lose my phone, and me and my best friend were walking around trying to ask workers if they had seen it, or maybe we could find it somewhere. Somehow, we ended up in front of the bathrooms where you go to exit the pool. On the right side, there's a fence with a parking lot for the pool. As we're standing there looking around and planning our next move, an old man approached the fence from the other side. He was a white male, but darker skin, with tattoos, dark hair, maybe in his 50s, skinny build. He overhears our conversation and starts talking to us about how I lost my phone. I tell him the story, and he suggested for me and my best friend to come out of the pool to his car because he is a police officer and he can help me find my phone.
What do you mean?
Mind you, me and my best friend are in our bikinis at the pool. We looked at each other and almost were happy that there was someone like a police officer who can help us. But we didn't want to leave the pool. He kept trying to talk us into coming out, but we didn't. Thank God. We had a weird feeling about this man and walked away. A woman was standing not too far from us, and after we walked away, asked us if we were okay and if that man was bothering us. Good thing there's people in this world who keep an eye out on us. And thank God we weren't naive at that age. Yeah, you almost had to take a moment, honey. That is very Hebes. That's very Hebes. That's why I stress stranger danger to my, well, not my daughter right now. She's only 7 months, but my son, definitely stranger danger, stranger danger. Like even when we're at the store, if someone, approaches us and, says hi to him, he looks at me or he looks at his father for approval to even interact with this person. And some strangers, they even said that's really good that you taught your son that. And yeah, I'm very pro stranger danger because of situations like this. That is a very scary moment, and I'm very, very happy that OP and her best friend had that intuition and trusted their gut to not leave the gate of that pool, the safety and the supervision around that pool, because creepy dude was not going to help you look for your phone. So yeah, that's a Hebe one. But let's go to the comments. OMG, that's so scary. People like that prey on kids, teens who are dumb enough to fall for it, meaning they aren't old enough to have any street smarts. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Yeah, I wouldn't phrase it as dumb enough, but definitely, because kids and teens, they're naive. They think they're invincible. Nothing bad will happen to them. And, they are not keen on the evils of the world that are lurking, so close, because we should live in a world where we don't have to be weary of those around us. But unfortunately, we don't live in that type of world. We live in a predatory world where we have to look at anyone that crosses our path with a keen eye for, for any alternative, oh, Can't say that word. Alternative or
WTF?
I can't say that word. Okay. To make sure that they don't have, a bad motive for why they want to interact with us. And it's quite sad, but it's the reality of the world, unfortunately. All right, guys. So that's all the stories for today. I hope you enjoyed them. Also, please make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Also, click that alert button so you're alerted to my next upload. Also, leave a comment down below what you think about the stories, or what you think about what I think about the stories, or anywhere in between. I love to read them all. So thank you for tuning in to She Read It. She Read It. She out.